All right, rant of the day. These South Afrikaners that are coming in, I think 49 came in the other day. They are part of the little apartheid movement that collapsed in 1994. There's no targeted killing. There's no targeted genocide. South African government has strictly denied it. They are strictly saying, you're going off misinformation. You're going off of information from Elon. You're going off of information that is racist. Like, it's racist. The fact that you are terrorizing people in this country now that have lived here their whole life, that story about that 19-year-old that made a wrong turn, it's truly disgusting. All the while you're trying to end habeas corpus, end due process, all this shit. Fuck this administration. Fuck this racist bullshit. It is unfathomable that they're bringing in fucking white racists now. We are importing racism. We already have enough.
I want to say thank you for all the support that I've gotten from everyone on the video that I made about South African refugees coming to America. It's great to have a bunch of new South African followers and people around the world who are against racism and bigotry. But that being said, I don't think this is going to be surprising to anyone, but I did get a lot of hate from a lot of hateful, racist, bigoted Afrikaners. For some reason, there was more hate on Instagram than TikTok, but you can see a lot of that in the comments if you look at my Instagram. But I wanted to share with you the private messages that I've been getting. Here's Kyle Graham's message, who just wanted to tell me that he's gonna come to America and slap me in the face. He's showing that he's not hateful by threatening me with violence. Here's another message I received on TikTok. I don't want to even read that one, but it is pretty funny. I got a lot of F slurs, a lot of homophobia. You know, it's not surprising, but again, I wanted to point it out. And I want to talk to these people directly, as well as the other people who are disagreeing with me passionately in the comment sections. I understand that you are deeply afraid for your safety, for the safety of your family, and I don't want to try to invalidate that fear because that is real, but you're using that fear to demonize and villainize Black people and people of color. You have no intention of trying to understand their struggle or work with them to rebuild your country. You look at them and speak about them as if they are these vile, evil monsters or animals that don't understand logic and can't be spoken or reasoned with. You came to their country, you segregated them, you dehumanized them, and as soon as they fought for their own human rights and ended apartheid, and I want to say they ended it, you didn't decide to end apartheid, the people ended it for you, then you just acted like, oh, I don't understand. Why is everyone still so upset? Everything's fair now. If you continue to carry that fear inside of you and let it drive you, there is nowhere in the world that you will be happy. You need to address this hatred inside of your heart and start seeing the people in your country as other people who are struggling just as much, if not more so, than you. And if you need help, you need to say, we all need help. We are all struggling. It's not just white people. We are all struggling out here, because acting like it's only white people who are getting killed is just wrong. It's just categorically false. You're not even being disproportionately killed. If you want things to get better, you need to have empathy and understanding and stop saying that Black people are hating white people for no reason, because that's just utter horseshit and it's embarrassing. And that's how I feel about you. I'm embarrassed for the way that you're acting and showing up. I'm embarrassed watching you stumble around, spreading hatred and bigotry, crying that you're being targeted unfairly when the data does not support that claim. I believe that things suck for you. I really do. I really believe what you're saying, and I understand that you're afraid. But I'm not going to believe that they suck for you because you're white, because there's nothing to support that claim.
Behind the headlines and immigration debates lies a fresh new flavor of chaos. Yeah, you guessed it. The US has just been served a spicy helping of imported controversy, and this time it's white on white. Let's dive into the rest of the video and we'll be back for more commentary.
Hey, get a load of this shit. 59 white South Africans were granted refugee status in the U.S. after their home country instituted a new law seeking to address land ownership disparities by making it easier for the country to expropriate land. Now, reportedly, 3/4 of privately owned land in South Africa is still in the hands of the white minority, even now, 30 years after apartheid ended. And if you don't know the history of South African apartheid, read a book. Google it even. It's not great. you're not in for a good time. So this law that South Africa introduced is supposed to allow South African authorities to take land in public interest without compensation, only in exceptional circumstances. That's what the law states. Like when an area is abandoned. After South Africa said they were going to institute that months ago, Trump posted on Truth Social and said that South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. The United States won't stand for it. We will act. Cool. Keep in mind that these certain classes of people he's referring to are white landowners. Elon Musk, who we haven't heard from in quite a while, is South African, if you didn't know. And he has and continues to refer to white people possibly losing land that they took as colonizers as a genocide. So that's fun. A claim that has actually been widely discredited multiple times. If you dig even just a little bit deeper, you will see why this, oh no, poor white colonists get expedited refugee status PR stunt is happening. Even as the Trump administration's anti-migrant status has suspended refugee programs and halted arrivals from places like Iraq, Afghanistan, and pretty much all sub-Saharan African countries. It's simple. South Africa is critical of Trump, and he won't stand for that. We can't have that. He kicked out South Africa's ambassador for criticizing him. He paused USAID funding to South Africa in January. He dismantled USAID and programs funding HIV research and treatment in South Africa. This shit, in fact, is so ludicrous that the Episcopal Church, the one that has got the closest ties and the longest ties with the United States government, has been like, nah, we're not going to be involved in this. No thanks. Meanwhile, people fleeing actual widespread violence and persecution, they're facing a closed door when they try to get refugee status. So, sorry everybody. Looks like money still talks. And on that note, it's day 113 in a series in which I ask myself, do I have to go to work today? The answer is yes. I don't care. Here we go. Do I have to go to work today? No. No pithy ending. Too sad. See you tomorrow.
So I have a question. I work with the homeless population, and I know for a fact that we still have plenty of veterans who are homeless and also U.S. citizens that are homeless. So I wonder how it makes you feel knowing that instead of getting services for the vets and for the U.S. citizens, that this administration has now welcomed white South Africans, and they're going to get all kinds of help from the government. And I want to know, for those who are cheering the horrific deportation or kidnapping, because really that's all it is kidnapping, because there's no court orders and these people are just grabbing people off the street. They're not identifying themselves. It's horrific. So that's my question. What does everybody think about the fact that now our government is bringing refugees from South Africa? And he said something along the lines of they have a rich, long history of all that they've done, and now the way that they're being treated is horrific. So I want to know, the American farmers here that have lost their farms, are those going to these refugees? Are they going to give those farms to the refugees? The people who lost their family farms. So that's my question. What do we think?
In case you're wondering whether there's any racism in the Trump administration, consider this wild fact. So you know how they've basically stopped anybody from coming to the United States claiming refugee status? Well, they've decided to put an asterisk on that, and they're going to allow 8,000 South African Afrikaners to come here as refugees. Those are white people, by the way. So why are the white South Africans allowed to be classified as refugees and come to the United States, but a refugee from El Salvador is not allowed to, or a refugee from Panama, or a refugee from Peru. Why aren't they allowed? Well, I'll give you it's one thing. They're brown, those South Africans are white. There was very little evidence that these Afrikaners are being persecuted at home. The government's saying, we're not doing anything. No one else seems to be able to confirm that fact. Yet the Trump administration is going to leapfrog those 8,000 Afrikaners into the United States in front of everybody else. Now, I would assume that all of the Trump supporters who are against all refugees coming to the United States are going to be outraged about this, right? Right?
All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome to Echo Room Vibes, where satire meets the echo chamber and nobody escapes the heat, not even the newly arrived Afrikaners who are stirring up drama hotter than Texas asphalt. So there were some comments, some clips, and I'm going to read them to you. And they said something like, wait, we're importing racism now? Isn't this kidnapping? Did they even ask to come here? White refugees from South Africa? Are we being punked? Oh, guys, it's real. Real enough for TikTok to catch fire and Twitter to transform into the world's largest virtual town hall of WTF. Some Americans are genuinely confused, some are outraged, and a few, bless their satirical heart, are rolling out the red carpet with side eyes. So let's break it down. Recently, white Afrikaners from South Africa were granted refuge in the United States, a decision that sent certain corners of social media into a full-blown existential spiral. One white American user said, "We already have racism here, why import more?" Another said, "They took them out of South Africa like it was a kidnapping. Do they even know where they are?" Ma'am, sir, folks, no one got tossed into a van with duct tape and sweet tea. This wasn't taken for Afrikaner extraction. But let's not pretend we don't see what's happening. Because while immigration policies are strict for some, it seems others caught a first-class exemption ticket. Selective Humanity Airlines now boarding at gate irony. And then Elon Musk himself, South Africa's most famous export since apartheid discomfort, decides to jump in. He posted, "So where's the racial justice now? Sir, you left South Africa in the 80s and launched billionaires into orbit. You are not exactly living the rural Afrikaner life anymore. Elon, blink twice if you are just here to troll." So guys, let's come back to the people, the real people. Many Black Americans took to TikTok with righteous sarcasm and deep concern. "Oh, we can't get reparations, but they got refugee benefits. We've been asking for housing vouchers and school improvement, and now you're flying in folks who got sunburns and colonial trauma." One user joked, "Y'all better make sure they don't bring old apartheid habit with them. America already got a full tank of that. Ouch." Let's be clear. Let's be clear, guys. People fleeing real violence, white, black, or other, deserve safety. But when the rules of the system bend conveniently for some, while others face a bureaucratic brick wall, you get a storm of TikToks, tweets, and truth bombs. Some said, this isn't about race, it's about protection. Others clapped back. Then why didn't Haitians, Sudanese, or Palestinians get the same love? At the center of it all, a fear that this is just another play in a very old script. While certain stories get uplifted, while others stay buried under acres of red tape. At Echo Room Vibes, we don't point fingers, we hold mirrors. And this latest immigration twist is reflecting more than just foreign policy. It's reflecting how America sees color, even when everyone involved is technically the same one. Credit to the originators and stitches of all featured clips. You keep the discourse alive. Drop a fire emoji in the comments if you are still with us. And hey, if you are new here, subscribe. Echo Room Vibes doesn't scream. We echo. Peace out.
Rap jingle, Echo Room Vibes. Beat kicks in, chill lo-fi or boom bap vibe. Catchy and melodic. Echo Room Vibes, yeah, we bring that heat. Set us so smooth, never miss a beat. No cap, no bias, just keeping it real. Comment what you think, tell us how you feel. One stop spot for the daily scroll. Drama, fact, and a little bit of soul. Reacting to the world with a comic twist. We roast and reflects, nothing gets missed. No agendas, just that clever spark. We shine like what it takes to dark. Respect the clip, Stitches origin too. We give the credit, that's how we do. Hope you beat with variation, Echo Room Vibes. You keep us fly, shout out every end, that 1,000 guy. Like comments, get part of the tribe. Join the room, catch the vibe, fill the job. To all our subs, you keep us fly. Shout out every end, that 1,000 guy. We see you watching, don't just slide. Drop that fire emoji, show your pride.